10 habits that only successful people have, and how can we adopt those habits in our life. Hey guys, my name is Fathul, and in today's video I'm going to talk about 10 habits that only successful people have, and those are mainly the reasons why they are successful, and those are the habits that if we cultivate those habits in our daily life, we can become successful, or the path will be very easy for us of becoming successful person. So that's why in this video I'm going to talk about the 10 habits that successful people have, or we need to adopt if we want to be successful. And if you really want to get something out of this video, I would just suggest you that don't pick all of those 10 habits, just pick one of them and just focus on building that habit with everything that you have. And after you build that habit, then go to the next one, then go to the next one. So out of those 10, just pick one of them. And also, if you have any of those habits already in you, comment down below which are the habits that you have. Anyhow, we in this channel we talk about teenagers, business, and how we can grow as young as possible and how we can grow together. So if you are new to here, subscribe to this channel, and yeah, let's get started with the video. Habit number 1 is going to be facing your problem rather than escaping from it. Reaction to problem, or reaction to fear, reaction to failure is the biggest difference between successful people and failed people. And the reaction change a lot. The reaction matters a lot actually, because when reaction changes, your action changes, and based on that, people become successful or failure, right? So to make it easier for you, I will give you some tips that will make it easier for you to cultivate that habit in your real life, right? So first thing is going to be, don't blame it on other people. Don't say that this is because of him. Don't complain that it's because of him, because of her. This is because of my circumstances. I wasn't able to do it. Or it's a fear. If it's a fear, don't just immediately run away from it. First thing first, sit down, relax, and reflect on the fear, on the problem, on anything. If that's a failure, then think about why it happened, what you can do to do next time. It's not to make it happen. If that's a fear, think about, is it actually real fear? Is it actually why is it coming from? Is it coming from an insecurity? Why you are feeling like that, and how you can what you can do about it. If it's a problem, think about, is it actually a problem, or is it just an imaginary problem? And if it's a real problem, what is in your control? Is there actually anything in your control that you can? If there is nothing to control, then just do it. If there is something that is in your control to actually change the problem, to make it better, then what are the best ways to make it better and to do the stuff? So rather than just blaming it on other people, just sit down and think about it. One thing that you can do is write down your problem. I don't do that, but I have heard that it helps people a lot. It's sort of like journaling. Write down your problems, write down how you are feeling. Just make it as terrible as possible, like as raw as possible. Don't try to make it nice and sweet and beautiful so that other people can read it and they're like, oh, so it's so poetic and something. Don't do it. Just write down however you are feeling right now. And it helps to decrease your stress level a lot. I haven't done that, but I have heard it's really helpful. If you want to learn more about it, there is an article I will link there, and I will just share it with you. Habit number 2 that successful people have is not waiting for luck. Successful people do not wait for luck. Waiting for luck actually is sort of like a way to just say that I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to wait for luck, and if this thing doesn't happen, I'm going to blame it on luck. So if you're blaming it on luck, it also gives you a justified reason for why some people are successful and why you are not. That yeah, people are successful because they are lucky, I'm not successful because I'm not lucky. Don't just wait for luck. Do the stuff. People have worked their ass off just to get, like, just make the dream fulfilled, and we are sitting here and just waiting for luck. It's just stupid. So that's why waiting for luck is not something that we should do. Rather than that, just whatever is in your control, just do it. Whatever resource you have, as minimum as it is, just start from there. Just start anything that you want to do. Just see what is in your control and just do it. Habit number 3 of successful people is reading books. Tony Robbins has said it the best, that books can turn decades of knowledge into hours. Successful people read books a lot, like a lot, because it's very organized. Book, like any topic that you want to learn, get a book of it, and you will see that it's just step by step process. It's very organized, it's very nice, and feels good to read a book. And although it's very difficult initially, but it will make you feel amazing after you read book for hours, or if you get into the zone. Books are not really that distracting if you compare to YouTube videos and stuff also, because if you think about it, you are watching a video, there is also suggestion, there are ads, there are many other things that do distract you, notifications and stuff. But books, if you get into the zone, you can read for hours and hours without breaks, and it feels amazing. So for you, to make it easier for you, I will give you a tip, which will be that pick up a time for, let's say, 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. In that between of that time, I will read a book for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, and make that a habit. Be consistent with it, and just try to follow that habit of reading book every single day. And it will, for me, I think, for me, just that it happened that it takes me minimum of 10 minutes to get into the zone of reading the book. Like in between 10 minutes, somewhere in between 10 minutes, I will get into the zone and I will start enjoying the book. So most of the time I keep it more than 10 minutes, keep it for like 30 minutes to 1 hour, so that for me it's a good time. And it takes 10 minutes for me to just get into the flow, get into the zone. And before that, it's just very boring to read a book. After you get into the zone, after you are in the flow of reading the book, it feels amazing to read the book. But before that, it's very distracting, it's very unpleasant experience. So yeah, do that. Also, if you really want to know like why actually you should read book, importance of reading book, now I have given an article in the description. You can go and check it out and enjoy it. Habit number 4 of successful people is meditation. See, the meditation is not a necessity or a mandatory thing of becoming successful, but see, my goal is to become happy and peaceful ultimately at the end of the day, right? I don't want people, or I don't want myself to be rich and depressed and rich and full of anxiety. So peacefulness, happiness is really important. So that's why meditation comes into the place. And meditation has tons of benefits. I cannot remember how many of it is, and I have written down some of them, and I'll just share them with you. Is that meditation reduces stress. Meditation helps to control your emotion, anxiety, promotes your emotional health, not promotes, it helps you with your emotional health, enhances your self-awareness, lengthen your attention span, reduces health, age-related memory losses, generate kindness, it helps you to fight your addiction in many ways, it improves your sleep, and it also helps you to control your pain. And can, last but not the least, can decrease your blood pressure. So yeah, and there are many more of it. I will give a link of an article in the description. You can just read it if you want to. But so there are tons of benefits of meditating, and many of you knows about it. But where do I start? How do I start meditating like in the first place? Like, so make it easier for you. Just pick up a time slot, and for 10 minutes, or even start from 5 minutes even, I don't really care. Just from there, just try to increase the time, but 5 minutes every day, give it to meditation. And I can assure you, nothing will happen if you take 5 minutes. Meditation in 5 minutes can do nothing in your life, but it at least can give you a start. Then increase it to 10 minutes. For me, again, it takes me for 10 minutes, like about 10 minutes to get into the zone, and that's why I try to keep it more than 10 minutes so that I can be into the zone for longer time. For you, it might be different. So if you can try to just keep it like 30 minutes, but if it's too much for if you are beginning from it, start from 5 minutes, even start from 1 minute. I don't really care. Just start meditating and then increase your time length from there. Habit number 5 that only successful people have is not acting on their emotions. Successful people excel in controlling their emotions and not being influenced by their emotions, and not being driven to it, rather taking action rationally, logically. So if we want to cultivate those habits, that habit in us, first thing that we need to do is being clear about your priorities, being clear about your values. So being controlled by emotions has a lot to do with not being clear about your priorities. So what we should do is first like create a list of the things that, you know, these are the things that my priorities, these are the things that are in my values, I value them the most. So the couple of like 10 things or something. Then when you are going to take any decision, observe yourself that are you behaving on those priorities. Like take action based on the priorities. If your actions is satisfying your priorities, then it's a logical decision. If it's not, then it's not really a logical decision, it's more like an emotional. So your priorities, for example, is being healthy and eating, it's, let's say it's your number one priority, so you really need to be healthy right now, and suddenly you need it to be like a burger. Now think about it, if does it actually satisfies your priorities, or it's something that's opposing it. So based on that, take actions rationally rather than being emotional about it. Habit number 6 of successful people is gratefulness or gratitude. So no matter what, you know, gratitude doesn't really have a direct connection with being successful, but it has sort of like a direct connection with happiness and how your quality of your life and quality of your lifestyle. So work as hard as you can to become successful, but being grateful with whatever we have is very important. And one, I will, to make it easier for you, I will just give you 2 tips. Pick one of them to just make that a habit. Is one is morning journal, or journal of any sorts. Basically I don't do that, to be honest, but I have heard again that writing down your emotions and being like, write down what are the 3 things that you are grateful for today, and write down the 4 things, that couple of things that you are grateful, and just feel about how, you know, like the things, like, don't just say that I'm grateful for this and that, just feel the energy, let it go through your body, and just have, like, in that moment, feel the energy of being grateful. Now it might sound a little bit of cliche and silly, but it really helps a lot. Another thing that you can do is meditation, gratefulness, or so gratitude meditation, gratefulness meditation, I don't know what it's called, but it's really helpful for many of us to actually sit down and be grateful. You know, we don't actually pick up a time for being grateful. If there is any sound, I'm really sorry, but anyhow, we don't really pick up a time or schedule our, you know, happiness or gratefulness for, like, never. So I think we should build up the habit as soon as possible, so that our quality of life becomes better. So yeah, again, it doesn't really have direct connection with the money and stuff, but I think I thought of like putting it in the list because I think it will help many of us a lot in the future. Habit number 7 that successful people have is working out regularly or exercising. See, as much as mental health is important, as much as, you know, being healthy inside your brain, being healthy mentally is important. Physical health is very important because it helps you to have a good quality lifestyle and ultimately better life and happy and, you know, stress-free life at the end of the day. So, and to make it a habit, I would just say pick up a time in the calendar and just follow that time, and just be consistent with it. Start small with anything like a 10-minute workout or 15-minute workout. You will see that how terrible your physique is. Like, you will in 10 minutes, I'm not blaming you, I'm just, every one of us is like, in 10 minutes if you work out properly, you will just be drained and exhausted. It's like, literally, you will be exhausted. Like, how much weak we have become nowadays, that in 15 minutes you will be dead. It's like, so 15 minutes is good, 10 minutes also, like, anytime. It's even 5 minutes is also good for many people. Just start and pick up a time in the calendar and start small, then be consistent. Start small but be consistent, and every day. Work on it every single day. And yeah, habit number 8 of successful people is following great people. See, success is not just about money, it's about the mindset. And successful people are great at surrounding themselves with like-minded people. And most of us are not in the group where we belong. So to check, so that's one tip I will just last give you, that pick up your friends and the group of friends very consciously. Like do a value check. Like, are they ambitious enough? Do they like share the same energy as you? Like, or are they appreciating or inspiring you in your goals, or are they pulling you down? So based on that, pick up a good friend circle, because having a great friend circle is very important. And most of us are really bad at that, and at the end we just regret having a bad and negative friend circle, negative friend group. That's why pick up a good friend circle, pick up a good influence. If you cannot do that, virtually attend community with like-minded people. There are tons of groups, forums where like-minded people get together and share their energy, share their stories, and you can get inspired by it. You can also follow great influencers who again share the same energy, are ambitious enough, and thus you can create and get into some great community of like-minded people. Habit number 9 that successful people have is having a routine. Successful people have tons of things on their plate, and they can't remember everything that they need to do. That's why routine or calendar comes into the place. It tells you exactly what you need to do at what exact time, and that's why it's very helpful for many people. But initially, not all of us need a calendar and a routine to tell me this is exactly what we need to do at exact time. So alternative is a to-do list. And if you are starting and beginning in the productivity stuff, I will just suggest you to just start a to-do list. Begin starting a to-do list, like 5 things that you need to do today, or 10 things, or even 2 things that you need to do today. Just to have a to-do list, and when you grow into that and you have more and more tasks, and you are not sure what you need to do, and you can't remember at exact what time what you should do, and if you feel like having a calendar, you can do it. For to-do list, I use personally TickTick. I used to use Habitica for a long time, but I have now shifted recently into TickTick, and I use it. I'm liking it pretty much. Choose your to-do list app or whatever you need. After using it, if you feel like having a routine or calendar, then you can shift into Google Calendar or anything, or you can have both. I have both. Whatever suits you. But for now, start small. That's the motto, I think. Last but not the least, tip number 10 or habit number 10 that only successful people have is they stay on their purpose. See, the more you become the more you go into productivity, the more you become successful, the more you become busy, the more busy you become, you get the point. And it's much easier to forget why you started, because in the middle of doing so much task, it's very simple and easy to forget why we started. That's why successful people have this common habit in most of the successful people, that they constantly ask themselves about their purpose, that why they started, so that they can be in the right path. And that's why it's important for all of us to question ourselves, ask ourselves questions about our purpose. And asking yourself questions regularly will help you to be clear about your purpose and what you should do, why you started. And so that's why I have an assignment for any of you who want to really start the journey of asking yourself and cultivate that habit again. Is I will have a link in the description of 20, it's a blog, it's an article of 20 questions that you should ask yourself to be clear about it. You don't need to ask 20 questions. Just pick 5 of them and ask yourself those questions daily. It can be night, it can be morning. You can write them down, it can become a journal, or you can just ask yourself simply every day, in the morning or night, whatever suits you. And thus, at least you started on being on your purpose, staying on your purpose. So we are almost at the end of this video, and if you have watched this far, you are amazing, you are great. Thank you for watching. I cannot thank you enough of that. But if you are into these things, because I am hoping that you like this video, if you really like this kind of video related to teenagers, young people, and becoming successful, starting a business, growing together, this is the channel for you. You can subscribe, you can like this video, you can share it with your friends and family members, whatever you like. And also, if you are if you want to be into the mindset and to become have a great emotional intelligence, and be good at it when it comes to business, career, and everything, I have a video. I will link it somewhere down there or up there, I don't know, but it's about emotional intelligence and how teenagers can build, why it's important, and how as teenagers and young people we can build it, and why it's going to help us in our career, in our business, and everything. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do good, be good, and be in the beautiful path of business. I am Fathul. Peace. Bye.